Guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to analyze some few pairs with you guys. Okay, we start with euro dollar, pound yen, euro pound, and silver. Okay, so first let's start with euro dollar. Okay, so with euro dollar on weekly time frame, you can see it has been pushing down, but on higher time frame we count this as a corrective move to the downside, like a descending type of channel, of which once it ends eventually we'll be pushing to the upside. Okay, so with that in mind, let's just go down to a lower time frame, see what we can come up with. Okay, so on lower time frame we did break some levels over here. We broke this key area. Okay, and we are having another key area at the top over here that should be our target if the price is ready to push to the upside. So as you can see, we did break this key area, and currently the market approached the same level. But how did the market approach the level? Okay, that's how you'll know if the price will continue pushing higher or will continue with the move to the downside. Okay, so currently as you can see, the price moved with an impulse over here, and after that we started forming this sort of ascending type of channel over here for us to indication that this price will drop again to the downside. Okay, so we know the move right now is towards the downside after that correction over there. So let's just dive in. We see now if we can come up with our patterns. Okay, so let's just get rid of this one. Looking at this, as you can see, the price pushed up impulsive in these areas, then started pushing up with an ascending type of channel. So what we could have, I waited for an entry, but I did not get this entry for buys, because I usually wait for this impulse followed by a correction and a continuation. It never gave us the correction for continuation over here, so I didn't enter in any buy trade on euro dollar. So for me, if I'm to enter a buy, I would expect this price to come back to mitigate this big candle over here. Okay, this big candle is where I'll expect this price to come back on. Then from here we'll see the price action for us to continue to the upside, or if it doesn't play out, we'll continue falling down. Okay, so this is the level that I want this price to come back to for me to read the price action. So once we know that, and we know we have reached a key area, it's clearly that with this price it's going to sell. Okay, so coming up with our pattern, we have in this 1 2 3 touch pattern over here, which is so lovely. As you can see, we reached our third touch. Okay, we reached our third touch, and the price is currently pushing to the downside. So what we need to wait currently in these areas is a very nice correction, potentially this correction potentially up to this green candle over here, mitigation level. Okay, so once this price corrects up to this level, you can take this straight to the downside up to this big green candle, where you'll observe the price action that will happen in this area. So take note of this correction over here. This is a really simple price action over here. Once we reach this level, give you a reversal candlestick patterns, you enter this trade up to these levels. Okay, this is the first target. From here we'll see how the market reacts, if we'll continue pushing higher or will continue going the downside. Okay guys, so that's it for euro dollar. Let's go to pound yen. Pound yen has been moving the downside, same as yen pairs, but as you can see, the price has been moving downside in a sort of a choppy type of price action, of which it is indicating that we are correcting this big push over here, and maybe also it can correct up to fill this big push down here. Okay, so with that in mind, it clearly shows us that there will be another push of buys coming in the future. Okay, so let's just dive in. We see what we can have over here. As you can see, first and foremost, we need to get the mitigation levels. Okay, at the top we have mitigation level in this area. Okay, this is the mitigation level that if we reach, we might get a clue that this price is ready to push the downside, because it will give us some sort of a pattern in these levels over here. Okay, I'm looking for these patterns in my value areas. Okay, if this pattern happens up to this value area where we'll get a third, then I'll take this trade to the downside. But the way the price is moving currently is towards the downside, and what happened is that, as you can see, we have this big 4-hour red candle over here, okay, of which it's so clean, which needs to be filled. Okay, so going down to a lower time frame, maybe 1 hour, I cannot see the mitigation candle. Let's just go deeper to see a mitigation candle. Okay, so going down to 15 minutes, I'm seeing this candle over here as my mitigation level. Mitigation level is where it's my value area. It's where I want to see the price coming back to before continuing the price with a certain direction. So for this one, if we manage to reach this level, then I'll look for buys up to these levels over here. So these are the areas that I'll be looking for any of the sells, or if we will continue pushing to the upside. Okay, so for me, this is the mitigation level over here. Okay, so with this one in mind, we can come up with a pattern. Over here. Once you have your levels, as I told you guys, I use Falcon strategy to in conjunction with smart money concept. So that's how I get my nice entries, because you know, Falcon only gives me some patterns, but I don't get entries using Falcon. Okay, so with this pattern and my value area at the bottom over here, if this price comes back down to this value area, it will be so nice entry. It will be a very nice entry for us to take. Okay, this will be a very nice entry for us to take up to this value area of ours over here. Okay, these value areas I've refined them, but I discussed them with my mentorship program, guys. Okay, if you want to join, I have my mentorship program. If you want to contact me, the link is in description. Okay, so wait for this price to push the downside up to the third touch and the value area. If we get a third touch on a Falcon pattern plus a touch on our value area, it's usually a high probability trade that it's going to work out. So for this one, we are seeing like a 400 pip move in the coming this week, of which you guys should be alert on. Most yen pairs will move the same, will have the same. Actually, I already have I have one sell trade on a certain yen pair, of which is this down move up to the value area, where we'll pick it up again to get these buys. Okay, so for GJ, I see GJ as the best setup to wait on these buys down here. So wait for this price to drop up to this value area, then we take these buys to the upside. Okay, guys. Next is euro pound. Let's just go on a daily. Let me just remove my drawings. As you can see, with euro pound, the price has been moving quite corrective, both on the downside and on the upside, you can see. But currently we have a bit clear price action over here, because this is an impulse correction, but right now we have some sort of another impulse over here, and now we are correcting these areas. So let's just dive deeper. We'll see what we can get. So we have this key area. Key area is a area where the price might react to, guys. Key area is where the price might react to, and value area is where we look for our entries. Okay, guys, so we have this price action over here, of which we did take this. I also posted this price action and we took the trade. So if you like holding trades, you should be in massive profits in this one. But for me, I'm human, man. Psychology happens. So I did close my entries a bit early, but I never regret, because there is a lot of opportunities. So as you can see, currently the price is pushing to the downside with impulse, correction, impulse. This one looks like a pullback than a correction. And what's happening is the price has formed an inverted hammer over here, and the reason why this price had to push up to this level is the same reason as why this price has to push to this level. The reason is to mitigate these areas over here. Okay, this level over here, this one was such a clean move. Same with these levels over here. Okay, so once these levels have been mitigated, have been filled, is when the price will continue to push to the downside, same as this level over here. As you can see, we have reached a mitigation level. Let's just go down so that I can show you this. You can see the price started the impulse on this level over here. Okay, this is a level where the price started to push today with the impulsive, the downside. Okay, so with that in mind, we can see the price came back to that same level and now it's reacting to it. And to just support our theory, you can get a pattern over here. Just get our falcon pattern. As you can see, we are currently at our third touch and we are at the same time at our value area. So with such areas, it's usually so nice to see. But at the same time, guys, remember the price over here was so corrective to the upside than over here. As you can see, this one made a clean push to the upside, and then after that formed this ascending type of channel. So we were expecting this push followed by a correction and a continuation, but it never gave us this correction. So meaning it has left us with a gap in these levels over here. Okay, all of this candle is a gap. So for this price to continue the push to the upside, it has to come back to mitigate this this imbalance over here, and then either we continue to the upside or we continue to the downside. Okay, but we have to see this price coming back to this level and react to it. Okay, so with that in mind, let's just go deeper and see where we can get our mitigation level. Let's go to our 1 hour time frame. We already know the price should be pushing to the downside, guys. That's an obvious one right now. So currently this candle started all the way from these levels over here. Okay, so I'm expecting to see this price coming back up to this value area. Then from here we will know what to do, but for now we are focusing on this sell up to that level over there. Okay, so the price has already started pushing the downside, but what happens is that we didn't get a nice correction for us to continue the downside. So, and that's our entry that we are waiting for. So let's just get rid of this old value area and look at a cleaner, at a newer value area, which is these levels over here. So as you can see, for me to enter these cells, okay, for me to enter these cells, I expect this price to come back corrective up to this area before we push again to the downside. Okay, potentially this one could potentially give us this sort of a head and shoulder pattern over here for us to look for that to move to the downside. So guys, be patient with this one because it's only the correction. The pattern is complete. Okay, the pattern is complete. We're only waiting for that correction to get our confirmation entry. Okay, so if this price pushes back up to these levels, then we'll take this trade to the downside. You can see these trades are simple this week. Last week I only had one trade, of which I'm still active in it up to now. So basically I didn't trade last week. My entries were just not there yet. Okay, so for this one, watch out on this sell, guys, up to this level over here potentially. Then from here we'll see how it goes. Okay, wait for this one. This one looks so nice. Wait for this one. Lastly, we have silver. Okay, so silver has been pushing up quite aggressive, but first let's just look at it. As you can see, overall time frame, bigger time frame, this one is a bit corrective to the downside, so we are anticipating a big push to the upside, and this correction we can say is to clean out this impulsive move over here. Okay, so once this correction ends, we'll be looking for buys. So I can see from here we can come up with a pattern which we have drawn it already. So let me just redraw it. Okay, let me just draw it again. You can see this silver, we had the third touch over here, and the price impulse to the upside. Okay, so this price, again, we expected this price to have an impulse, correction, continuation, but look what's happening. Same as other price actions that I've shown you, the price pushed up without giving us a correction, and right now it's forming some sort of an ascending type of channel for us to move down up to this clean area where we did not get that correction, to fill that gap before we either continue pushing up or any other direction. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing, and that's what we have seen in all the pairs that I've discussed with you guys so far. Okay, so let's look where this price originated from. And clearly this price started pushing up from these levels. Okay, from these levels where we had these big green clean candles over here. So I'll be expecting this price to push all the way down to these levels, but if it pushes down to these levels corrective, then we'll see another push to the upside. Okay, so with that in mind, let's just come up with a pattern over here and come up with this pattern over here. This is a symmetrical triangle. Okay, so with this pattern, for me, I can see another level over here of which that's why our price is reacting to. So you could have taken some trades in these levels over here, of which you could have, since this is 4, you could have secured some profits, all maybe on a break even. So guys, with this one, I expect us to wick on this area, on this third touch, drop down, give us a mitigation level that it will correct to, and then we enter this market up to this level. Okay, so this is as simple as I analyze, guys. I just look for certain value areas where I know the price will come back to. Okay, once I have my 3-touch pattern, I usually just look for the mitigation levels. Okay, the level of imbalances. Okay, so for this one, we wait for that first push to the downside, followed by a correction, and then we enter this trade on the down low. Okay, on the down low, we need this confirmation for us not to be caught on most of break evens or losing trades. Okay, so we need this extra confirmation for us to avoid such scenarios. Okay, so wait on this pullback over here, and then we enter the trade. If this price continues pushing up from here, there is no need. If it will continue breaking these highs over here and pushes up, we'll let it go, because our overall move is towards the downside. So be aware of what's happening in these levels over here. Okay guys, so that's it for this week, guys. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers guys.